Full body immune support. That's the focus with this step. Symptoms that we need to address. In the ears, itching, draining, excess wax, plugged, watery inside, hard to pop open. These are all symptoms of something underlying. In the throat, chronically sore, snoring, dripping, tickling feeling down the back of your throat, clearing your throat frequently. Something's going on. The nose, chronic dripping, whether it's white, red, green, yellow, mucus, right? All kinds of different colors of mucus you can get. Frequent blowing of the nose, dripping after eating, needing to clean it often, can't breathe through the nostril, especially at night. Tonsils, chronically swollen. It's part of the immune system. Some more symptoms to address. In the sinuses, chronic pressure, congestion, snorting, always feeling like you need antihistamines. Oh my gosh, it's just so plugged. I just got to take an antihistamine. Okay, that's not going to get to the source, right? These are symptoms that need to be addressed. Teeth, sensitive to cold or pressure, cavities, cracking, root canals. Gums, receding pockets, bleeding easy. Anytime you floss, brush your teeth, you get bleeding. You go to the dentist. Oh my God, I'm bleeding all over. It's like that's signs of gum health challenges. The mouth, bad breath, patches of discoloration, recurring sores. Tongue, you can get it coated in different colors. But the mouth can create a barrier to your healing. Your teeth and your mouth. What an important area. As you look into this topic, it is so critical. So I'm going to share what I believe is really impactful with the teeth and the mouth to hopefully give you knowledge, to empower you to go get your mouth checked out and to make sure there's nothing holding you back. In a perfect world, I would say don't get any cavities, right? No metal in your mouth whatsoever. Never get any teeth pulled. Don't have any root canals, right? No toxic toothpaste, no retainers. But it's like, in all reality, that is so unrealistic. We've already had things happen to our mouth. We can't go back and change them. We just have to reassess where we're at now, and do we need to make any changes with our routine and our habits of how we're caring for our mouth and teeth? And do we need to make any changes or things done to our mouth and teeth based on what's already happened to them? So, your sinuses, what a critical area to make sure is healthy. Some of the common causes of sinus issues, and this is according to this research article from 2018, bacterial infections, fungal incidence is 2 to 7%, most commonly aspergillus, which is a mold toxin, intranasal allergies, nasal passage abnormalities, such as a deviated septum or nasal polyp, tobacco smoking, frequent breathing in of other pollutants. That last bullet point, super big. Pollution, toxins that we're breathing in, of course, are going to impact the sinuses. The other thing I think is missing from this article is parasites. So how can we get parasites in our sinuses? Well, you can actually breathe in eggs. The transfer of eggs with a finger by picking your nose can happen as well. Coughing or sneezing up parasites from the lungs, i.e. pinworm eggs, you can sneeze out at somebody, so there's a reason you cover your mouth. Certain parasites can migrate to the body. Example, roundworms, strongyloides, which is also a roundworm, right? It's in the roundworm nematode category. It's technically a threadworm, but that's in that. Now, when we're looking at sinus anatomy, the reason I love this picture, most of us understand there's sinuses, what's called the frontal, the maxillary. But when you start looking at the side picture right next to me, you see how far back they go. And there's even sphenoid sinus. There's a lot of different pockets. I mean, look at all the little grooves, the little narrow entryways that get into bigger pockets. The big factors that negatively impact your sinuses: toxicity. That is the main driver here. That drives parasites and pathogens. Now, I get it. Parasite is technically a pathogen, but I'm breaking this out for a reason, because parasites by themselves are very negatively impactful to the sinuses. You have parasites, that's driven by toxicity, right above it. Pathogens as well are driven by toxicity. And then you have allergens and sensitivities that can impact the sinuses, which are driven by parasites. Parasites are driven by toxicity. So again, it kind of all comes back to this poison, chemical, soup environment we're living in. The list here, toxins. We got herbicides, glyphosate, pesticides, industrial chemicals, environmental chemicals, toxic metals, toxic heavy metals, radioactive elements, mycotoxins, that's the toxin mold produces, parasites, cestode, nematode. In the nematode category, we have strongyloides, protozoa, and technically in the protozoa, we have a subcategory called sporozoa as well, which Babesia is in, but we got protozoa. Pathogens, looking at bacteria, so Lyme disease, Bartonella, mycoplasma, fungus, or the fungi category, that's where Candida would sit in. Why do daily sinus rinse work exposure? This is research in 97. 2 studies evaluated the effect of saline lavage on chronic rhinosinusitis in the context of workplace-related airborne irritants. Woodworkers exposed to varying levels of wood dust performed daily saline lavages and demonstrated significantly improved sinus symptoms, more mucus clearing, and expelled nasal flow or expiratory nasal flow. What's the takeaway? Sinus rinsing is the secret to healthy sinuses. Rinse the chemicals and stuff, debris, pathogens out of the sinuses. And of course, the stuff you're doing systemically is very impactful as well.